Your car didn't get old overnight. It happened slowly. One day the steering felt a little loose. Then the engine lost a bit of that kick it used to have. The ride got noisier, rougher, less refined. You adjusted. You stopped noticing. But deep down, you know it doesn't feel the way it did when you first drove it off the lot. Here is the thing. In Germany, they do not accept that. They have a system, a philosophy, an almost obsessive approach to keeping cars running like they just rolled off the assembly line, no matter how many miles are on the odometer. Germany is the birthplace of the automobile. Carl Benz built the first one back in 1886. Since then, the Germans have spent over a century perfecting not just how to build cars, but how to maintain them. And today, I am going to walk you through the exact German methodology that can make your old car feel brand new again, no matter what you drive, no matter how many miles are on it. These are not gimmicks. These are proven techniques backed by engineering, chemistry, and over 100 years of automotive obsession. Let's start with the foundation of all of this. Step 1. The German inspection mindset. In Germany, every car on the road must pass a brutal inspection called the TÜV, short for Technischer Überwachungsverein. It has been mandatory for over 70 years. Every 2 years, your car gets pulled apart by certified inspectors who check everything from brakes to suspension, to exhaust, to body integrity, to electrical systems. If your car fails, you get 4 weeks to fix it. No exceptions. No, I will get to it next month. 4 weeks, and then you are off the road. This is not like a basic emissions check in the States. TÜV inspectors examine brake pads, axles, joints, exhaust systems, wheel suspensions, seals, fluid levels, rust and corrosion, every light on the vehicle, steering components, and even the condition of the windshield wipers. That round TÜV sticker on a German car license plate is not just a formality. It is proof that every major system has been verified to meet some of the strictest safety and performance standards in the world. Most people outside Germany do not realize this. German car owners do not just wait for TÜV day. They bring their cars to workshops beforehand to get pre-inspected and repaired so they do not fail. It is a culture of proactive, preventative maintenance. They catch problems before they become disasters. That mindset alone is the single biggest reason German cars on the road feel tighter, smoother, and more refined than the same models driven in countries without these standards. So step 1 is simple. Stop ignoring the small stuff. That slight vibration at highway speed, that is not normal. That squeaking noise when you turn, that is a warning. That sluggish feeling when you accelerate. Your car is telling you something. The Germans listen. You should too. Now let us get into the specific techniques. Step 2. The German engine flush. This is the one that shocks people the most. A German chemical company called Liquimoli, founded in 1957 in Ulm on the Danube River, has been making what might be the most effective engine maintenance products on the planet for over 60 years. They have won Germany's #1 motor oil brand award for more than 10 consecutive years in owner surveys. And their Pro-Line engine flush is something every car owner should know about. Here is what happens inside your engine over time. Oil circulates through dozens of tiny passages, lubricating pistons, valves, bearings, and camshafts. But as that oil ages and breaks down, it leaves behind sludge, varnish, and carbon deposits. These deposits clog oil passages, restrict flow, and reduce the efficiency of every moving part in your engine. Your oil filter catches particles down to about 25 microns, but there are contaminants circulating in your oil that are even smaller than that. Over tens of thousands of miles, these microscopic particles band together and form the sludge that is choking your engine right now. The German engine flush is dead. Simple. You pour it into your engine oil at operating temperature, right before an oil change. Let the engine idle for 10 to 15 minutes. The flush mixes with the old oil and circulates through the entire engine. dissolving sludge and freeing up stuck piston rings and hydraulic lifters. Then you drain everything out, along with all the dissolved gunk. Replace the filter. Fill with fresh oil. Done. One BMW owner who uses this on his 2005 E46 said the car always runs smoother afterward, and he feels like he gains a little power. Another owner used it on a rebuilt engine with heavy sludge buildup. He checked the oil before adding the flush, and it was golden brown. After 15 minutes of idling, the oil came out completely jet black. He said he was blown away by how much it cleaned out. An Audi A4 owner described a noticeable difference in idle smoothness and acceleration after his first treatment. Now, I want to be clear, this is not something you do every oil change. If your engine has been well maintained, you may not need it at all. But if you bought a used car with questionable maintenance history, or if you have gone too long between oil changes, or if your engine just does not feel as responsive as it used to, a properly done engine flush before a fresh oil change can make a genuine difference. The key is doing it correctly. Follow the directions. Do not drive the car with flush in it, just idle. And always change the oil and filter immediately after. If your engine has extremely heavy sludge from years of neglect, have a mechanic assess it first, because in some cases the sludge may actually be masking worn seals. Step 3. Carbon cleaning, the hidden killer in modern engines. This is something most car owners have never even heard of, but it is one of the biggest reasons modern cars lose power over time. If your car was built in the last 15 years, there is a strong chance it uses gasoline direct injection. GDI engines inject fuel directly into the combustion chamber, instead of spraying it over the intake valves like older engines did. The advantage is better fuel efficiency and more power. The disadvantage is devastating. Without fuel washing over the intake valves, carbon deposits from oil vapors in the crankcase ventilation system bake onto those valves over time. And I am not talking about a light dusting. We are talking thick, crusty layers of carbon that choke off airflow to your engine. This is a universal problem. It affects BMW models, Volkswagens, Audis, Fords, Hyundais, basically any car with a direct injection engine. And it has been a known issue since GDY became widespread around 2008. Symptoms include rough idling, engine misfires, sluggish acceleration, reduced fuel economy, and sometimes a check engine light. The power loss is gradual, so most people do not even realize their engine is down 10, 15, even 20% from where it should be. The German solution is Walnut blasting. BMW actually pioneered offering this service to customers for their GDI engines built between 2006 and 2016. The process involves removing the intake manifold to expose the intake valves, then blasting them with finely crushed walnut shells propelled by compressed air. The walnut shells are hard enough to strip away baked-on carbon, but soft enough that they will not damage the metal valve surfaces. A vacuum system catches the debris, so nothing gets into the engine. After the service, the valves look practically factory new. Consumer Reports covered this technique and confirmed it is one of the most effective ways to restore performance on older GDI engines. The walnut blasting method is recognized across the automotive world as the gold standard for intake valve cleaning. Costs typically range from $700 to $1,200, depending on your engine, but the performance restoration can be dramatic. Some technicians recommend doing it every 60,000 to 100,000 miles on direct injection engines. Others say every 40,000 to 50,000 miles, depending on driving habits. Short trips where the engine never fully warms up accelerate carbon buildup significantly. If you cannot afford walnut blasting, regular chemical induction cleaning every 15,000 to 30,000 miles can help slow the buildup. But once heavy deposits have formed, chemicals alone usually cannot remove them. You need the physical cleaning. Hey, if you are getting value from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel. Step 4. The suspension refresh. This is the one that makes the single biggest difference in how your car feels to drive. and it's the one that almost nobody does. Every car has dozens of rubber bushings throughout its suspension and steering system. Control arm bushings, sway bar bushings, strut mounts, subframe mounts, steering rack mounts, and more. These rubber components separate your car's metal suspension parts from the body. They absorb vibrations, reduce noise, and keep everything aligned precisely. When your car was new, these bushings were fresh, supple, and perfectly shaped. They held every suspension component exactly where the engineers intended. After 50,000 to 80,000 miles, those rubber bushings start to degrade. They dry out, crack, compress, and deform. And when they do, everything changes. Steering gets vague. The car wanders on the highway. You hear clunks over bumps. Tire wear becomes uneven. The car does not feel planted anymore. It feels loose, disconnected, old. German car owners, especially those who drive on the Autobahn, where cars regularly cruise at 130 to 160 kilometers per hour, cannot afford to have degraded suspension components. At those speeds, a worn bushing is not just uncomfortable, it is dangerous. That is why proactive replacement of suspension bushings is standard practice in German automotive culture. Fresh shocks and springs get all the attention, but it is the bushings that transform the driving experience. Replacing worn suspension bushings with new OEM quality rubber units restores your car's factory precision. The steering tightens up. The handling becomes sharper. Road noise drops. The ride quality returns to what it was when the car was new. One enthusiast who did a complete bushing replacement on his car described it as a transformation, like driving a completely different vehicle. That is not an exaggeration. Worn bushings rob you of the driving experience your car was engineered to deliver. While you are at it, check your motor mounts. These are the rubber blocks that hold your engine to the chassis. When they wear out, you feel excessive vibration at idle, clunky shifts in automatic transmissions, and a general roughness that permeates the entire car. Fresh motor mounts can make your engine feel silky smooth again and dramatically reduce cabin vibration. Step 5. The fluid overhaul. Germans don't just change their engine oil. They treat every fluid in the car as a maintenance item with a definite lifespan. And this is where most people fall dangerously behind. Transmission fluid. If you have an automatic, your transmission fluid degrades over time, losing its ability to provide smooth, crisp shifts. Many manufacturers claim their transmission fluid is lifetime fill. That is marketing nonsense. In German automotive circles, transmission fluid gets changed every 60,000 to 80,000 miles, regardless of what the manual says. Fresh transmission fluid can transform rough, hesitant shifts into smooth, imperceptible ones. Brake fluid. This is the one people forget about completely. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air over time. As moisture content increases, the fluid's boiling point drops, and your brake pedal starts feeling soft and spongy. German standards call for brake fluid replacement every 2 years. Fresh brake fluid gives you a firm, confident brake pedal with maximum stopping power. It is a cheap service that makes a massive difference in how the car feels. Coolant. Old coolant loses its anti-corrosion properties and can lead to overheating, water pump failure, and radiator leaks. German vehicles especially are known for cooling system failures when coolant maintenance is neglected. Replace it every 2 to 3 years with a manufacturer-specified formula. Power steering fluid. If your car still has hydraulic power steering, old fluid causes increased steering effort, noise, and eventual pump failure. A fluid exchange restores light, precise steering feel. The point is this: every single fluid in your car has a job. When those fluids degrade, the systems they serve degrade with them. Refreshing every fluid in the car is like giving your vehicle a blood transfusion. Everything works better. Step 6. The exterior and interior refresh. German car culture doesn't stop at the mechanicals. Appearance and interior condition are taken just as seriously, and this is where a few cheap fixes create the most dramatic visual transformation. Start with your headlights. If your car is more than 5 or 6 years old, chances are the plastic headlight lenses have yellowed and hazed over. A $30 headlight restoration kit takes about 15 minutes per side and turns those dull, yellowed lenses crystal clear. It makes your car look 5 years younger instantly, and more importantly, it dramatically improves your nighttime visibility. Replace your weather. Stripping. The rubber seals around your doors, windows, and trunk deteriorate over time, causing wind noise, water leaks, and rattles. New weather stripping is usually inexpensive, and installing it can make the cabin noticeably quieter. It's one of those things you don't appreciate until you experience the difference. Refresh your trim. Those black plastic trim pieces on your car that have faded to gray? There are German-made products specifically designed to restore them to deep black. It's a quick application that makes the entire exterior look dramatically better. Clean or replace your filter, the cabin air filter. This is the filter that cleans the air coming through your heating and air conditioning system. Most people never change it. A clogged cabin air filter restricts airflow, reduces air conditioning performance, and fills your cabin with musty odors. A fresh one costs less than $20 and makes the inside of your car smell and breathe like new. And here's one most people overlook. Run an air conditioning deodorizer through your climate system. Over years of use, mold, mildew, and bacteria build up in the evaporator and ducts. A quick treatment eliminates those stale odors and makes your cabin smell fresh and clean. Step 7. The tire and alignment reset. The final piece. Your tires are the only part of your car that actually touch the road. Everything else, your suspension tuning, your steering feel, your braking performance, is transmitted through those 4 contact patches. If your tires are worn, mismatched, underinflated, or your alignment is off, nothing else you have done will feel right. Get a proper 4-wheel alignment. Check your tire pressures every month, not every 6 months. And if your tires are worn past their prime, replace them with quality rubber that matches your vehicle's specifications. In Germany, tire condition is checked during TÜV inspections. Worn tires are not just a comfort issue, they are a safety issue that German authorities take very seriously. The German trick is not one thing. It is a philosophy. It is the belief that your car deserves the same systematic care at 100,000 miles that it got at 1,000 miles. It is the understanding that maintenance is not an expense. It is an investment. A full refresh, engine flush, carbon cleaning, suspension bushings, fluid overhaul, and cosmetic detailing might cost you $2,000 to $4,000 total, depending on your vehicle. That sounds like a lot until you compare it to a new car payment of $700 a month. The Germans figured this out a long time ago. A well-maintained older car that has been systematically refreshed can feel every bit as good as something brand new, sometimes better, because you know every system has been personally addressed. Stop accepting that your car has to feel old. It doesn't. The Germans proved that decades ago. Now, you know how to do it yourself. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these steps you are going to try first. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.